A second. Okay, I think it's there. Hopefully no hay un echo. Awesome. All right, cool. So that I think we're now live on Facebook because there's been an issue there. So let me just take attendance for you guys. Did anybody have any questions from Wednesday's reading that you were like, sabes qué, lo repasé y hay algunas cosas que tal vez no me quedaron claro?
No, it's okay.
It's good? Okay. So today's going to be the same thing. We're going to practice more of the reading section, right? Yesterday, you should have gone over with some more stuff with Licenciado Marcelo of different strategies to look for whenever you're reading. So today's going to be the same thing. Now, I personally, like I told you guys, I think that it's best if you read the questions first. I stand behind that. Now, it's a little bit difficult to do that when we're online, right? Because you have the reading in front of you and you can look at the questions. You put go back and forth as much as you want. Aquí no lo podemos hacer, and it's a little bit more difficult for me to do it. So what I want to try to work on this instead is to making sure that you guys are reading at a good pace. Okay, ese va a ser el enfoque, no de qué estrategia en realidad tomar, pero más para aprender a leer un poquito más rápido and being able to identify certain things within the question to not trick you as much. ¿Vale? So that's what we're going to start off with. If you guys give me 1 second, let me share my screen.
Giovany, I have a technical question.
Please.
Do you know if ETS, when you do the exam in your home, do they record the exam of your screen?
Good question. So yes, whenever you take, bueno, este creo es un nuevo, it's a new thing that they're trying. So básicamente when you take that exam, no puedes salir de la pantalla en la que estás. And it's very, very technical. Por ejemplo, te van a pedir que tengas una cámara así en el centro y no puedes estar viendo hacia tu lado. Like none of this or none of that. They're very, very strict. I personally think, I know that no entiendo la situación de todos, but if you can take it in person, do it. El papel is just good because you can flip back and forth, you can write on it. And sometimes I've had students that taken it online y cuando ven sus apuntes, they're like, I don't even know what I wrote this for. ¿Por qué lo escribí? Okay. But as far as actually the ETS online, yeah, they're very strict about what you can and can't do. Ellos te dicen antes de que empieces.
Okay.
Before you start, ellos te dicen, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Anybody have any other questions? No? Okay. Está Armando, Carla, Natalia, Alan. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. María no está. Creo que alguien salió, pero I don't know who it is. All right. So, here we go. All right. So, on this one, here's the first question, and it kind of might help you, might not. I don't know. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take a few minutes to read this. And let me see if I can put it on a Word doc para ustedes. Porque es un poquito difícil de leerlo así. We'll try this. You guys able to see it? ¿Lo pueden ver más o menos? Yeah. If not, lo voy a mandar en el chat. Y si lo quieren abrir en su propio, in your own like desktop, then do it. It's not a very long, that's not the full one. It's not a very long article, but we'll see. No creo que me va a dejar poner todo. So it'll be by sections. There's that. Perform from a base. They. I don't know why it does not let me do it, but that's how it is. And you can start reading from the top. I'll just start putting it in right now. Vamos a tomar unos minutos to read that, okay? And this is I like it. It's a good story. It's pretty interesting. So go ahead and start from the top on your thingy, and I'll keep sending it here so that you guys can have it. Boom. All right, that's all of it. So I'll go to the top though, just in case. I'll slowly go. We're gonna take just 10 minutes to read this. Actually, maybe less, like 7 minutes, and then we'll start answering questions. Remember, we're taking notes on this one. Y vayan tomando apuntes de palabras que no conocen, ¿ok? Para que las vayamos agregando a su vocabulario. Okay, you should be getting close to the end. Two more minutes. ¿30 segundos? All right. So, now that we're done with that, by raise of hands, right? ¿Cuántos de ustedes entendieron 100% del texto? Ojalá todos, right? Just kidding. No, that's not the idea, all right? The idea is not to understand everything, but to mostly grasp, which means grab important concepts. Okay, so I don't need you to understand everything. If there was a few sentences on there that you were like, I have no idea what that means, that's okay. All right. Now, whenever it comes to answering those questions, though, you have to be able to recall what it is that they're asking. Okay, so let's try question number 1, which is in paragraph 1. Y eso es lo bonito. Por eso no les recomendamos que se brinquen preguntas, porque las preguntas van a venir en orden. Entonces, si tú vas de la 1 al 3 y no te dice dónde es de que vas a encontrar lo que estás buscando, you're going to be lost and you're going to be spending time reading again that you should be using answering the questions. So try to answer them as in orderly as possible as you can, pero tampoco pases más de 2 minutos tratando de responder una pregunta. ¿Vale? All right. So hopefully you guys were able to get through it all. And now let's look at this. According to paragraph 1, what can be said about musicians such as Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Holly? Lo leí como si había más. And Buddy Holly. Here are our choices. It's in paragraph 1. So it means right here. ¿Y qué es lo que vamos a hacer? ¿Qué es lo que deberíamos hacer en cuando vimos esta pregunta? ¿Qué es lo primero que tenemos que hacer?
Look for the artist at the first.
Okay, good. Which is Little Richard and Chuck Berry and Buddy Holly, right? Yeah, it's the main idea. So that means somewhere right here, right? So no tengo que empezar acá arriba, but kind of right here. Go to the main concept and then go from there. So now that we know that, what can we end? What would be the answer to number 1?
A. The first one.
Okay. ¿Alguien más? Because yo creo que es B.
I think A.
Okay, so nadie está yendo conmigo. That's nobody's agreeing with me. Alan, Carla.
I agree with you.
Okay. All right, good. Alan?
A.
Good. All right, yeah, so trust, hay que confiar en Armando, right? Yeah, the correct answer is A. All right, And why was I trying to trick you? It wasn't to try to trick you. It was mostly to trust yourself. Just because I'm a teacher doesn't mean I'm right. Okay? And your gut es la mejor herramienta que tienes para responder cualquier pregunta. If you're like, I think it might be this one, and that's the thing. Algunas de esas preguntas se van a aparecer. Okay? But you need to grasp the main concept. It's not because it's completely wrong, but because it doesn't mention it. Nunca habla sobre si ellos trabajaron o no juntos. Okay, it just talks about how they helped or were involved in the creation of this beautiful genre. Okay, so trust yourself. Good, I like it. Vale. Next question. According to paragraph 1, Tharpi's style of guitar playing was notable because
He was yes. The second one,
good. Anybody else?
The third one,
The third one. Okay. Who said C? Carla?
yes.
Okay, so you said C and we have B and C. Okay. Ala, Natalia? You got a few seconds left. Okay, so before we even answer, what does the word predecessor mean?
like before the tent of the rock and roll that we know nowadays.
Yeah, predecessor. So it just means what? Something from the past, right?
Mhm.
We'll look it up. We'll add it to the vocabulary. We'll get the exact definition right here. All right. Let me share my audio with you guys.
Predecessor.
Predecessor. And I said it's predecessor, sorry. And it's someone who had a job or position before someone else. Nice. What does influence mean? That was kind of easy.
It's like it's
The what, Armando?
I think the influence when you take something about that thing that it's important for your attendance or something like that.
Yeah, perfect, right? It's something that has influence on you and it has a power on you, right? So these are both good options, but the correct answer is actually B. All right. C is not a bad option because, yeah, it's talking about, all of this other stuff that maybe had somewhat of an influence on her, but it was mostly Elvis that was a predecessor of rock and roll, which influenced her to do it. Okay. So the correct answer is B. All right. Nice. Con cuidado de eso. So now we have a vocab question. Okay. And these solamente debería tomarnos un minuto. Entity. We're going to go right here. Si no sabemos qué significa y tratar de ponerlo en contexto. Entity. Emma says that.
Like being.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a name here. Like being, is that what you're telling me that it means being? Okay, good. What else? Anybody else? So we have Armando saying that it's being. All right. So an entity is something that exists apart from other things, having its own independent existence. Which of those is the closest meaning to?
I'm indecious in emotion and being. So in being.
It's okay. What does your gut say? Remember, what does your gut say?
What is your what? I didn't listen.
Tu corazón. What does your gut say?
I think that is being.
Anybody else? Un minuto, ya nos pasamos por dos casi.
I agree with him because it is not an emotion. It is not express an emotion or something. It is talking about something. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
suppose that
exactly.
it's not.
It's all about something, right? That's a good way of putting it. It's talking about something because of the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And remember, algo que les comenté desde la otra vez, start crossing out. It's definitely not force. It has nothing to do with that. Desire, man, no sé exactamente qué significa desire, but I also don't think, it's going towards that. So it has to be between C and D. Start making it easier for your brain. Otherwise, these four options se van a ver como seis. Start crossing out. Do that during the test.
Okay.
And that is correct. All right. The word affairs in paragraph 3 is the closest meaning to what?
Events.
Okay. Alan. Natalia. Hay que participar, guys. Come on. Si no está
Yeah,
casi-
I think events
Events? Okay. What makes you think events?
because the word is most close to the part.
Yeah, it's more common, right? So if we were to take affairs off and if we were to put from that base, they also traveled around the country, performing at a Pentecostal tent, revivals, large events with a mixture of entertainment and worship. That sounds good. It wouldn't sound normal with structure. It wouldn't sound normal with churches. And it's definitely not trips. Actually, trips might be one of the closer ones. Okay, good. Try putting the word in there if it's something that you're like, maybe. All right, good. Next question. In paragraph 3, what does the phrase the base refer to?
Local church.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else say something else? Ya les dije last time, we pass or we fail as a class?
Local class. Church. Sorry.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So what ¿qué dicen
I
los
think
demás?
that it could be the level of age.
¿Perdón?
The first option could be.
Not in Plant, Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have a local church. So what does everybody else say?
I think that it's a local church because at the last sentence, it says that she and her mother joined a local Kojic church and performed there. So from that base, it means that they are basing on the past, on the past sentence.
Good. That's what I wanted to see. That's perfect. Try to give a reasoning behind your answer. If your answer is like kind of making sense, but based on what they're giving you, then maybe it has something to do with it, right? Now, esto no va a ser una cosa que van a poder tener, but if you go and look up Kojic, right? Church of God in Christ, es una acronym. Y no van a tener la ventaja de hacer eso durante el examen, por eso es importante que puedan incrementar su vocabulario un poquito antes de. Okay, good. Local church, nice. Guys are doing good. According to paragraph 4, which I think is this one, what can be understood about Tommy Thorpe? What can be understood about Tommy Thorpe? Well, primero hay que preguntarnos, ¿quién es Robbie Thorpe?
Was the pretendant of Roselle?
Yeah, el pretendant, yeah. I don't know if we have a direct translation al inglés. It would just more be like, it would just
Like
be
a
kind of
boyfriend?
generalized to like a boyfriend, yeah. Yeah, no tenemos pretendiente en inglés, no hay una conjunction of that
No?
one. Not really, no. But you would say
It's only pretend. Something
como un interés sería
like an
más.
interest. Uh-huh.
An interest of her. Okay? So nice. We were called now that's Tommy's an interest or a boyfriend or someone who potentially was her. We were called that. So then what does that automatically cross out? ¿Cuál es una opción que fácilmente you're like, no, there's no way? Okay. Traveling. Because we're talking about what is understood about him. All right. So we know it's not B.
I think that it's the letter C.
Okay.
After marrying.
Okay. So there's this sentence right here. All right. So we know that Tommy was very big in Kajik. Oh my God. Was very big in Kajik, right? That's what he believed in. That's what it was. And then we go down to the bottom where she talking about how she did not always agree that singing was the best, right? Because she started kind of singing different style of music. And so some of her fans felt not comfortable with what she was doing. So if you have a guy who's really passionate about something and then alguien empieza a hacer algo un poquito uncomfortable, usually what happens?
They get angry.
Right. So what usually happens when two people start arguing?
Like
and
the
they're married.
divorce. Yes.
Gets a divorce. Okay. So hopefully lo está procesando un poquito como yo lo estoy haciendo. Y si no, then that should tell you, be like, well, what am I missing? Am I not reading fast enough? Is my retention not high enough? Or am I just not comprehending anything? And then that'll teach you whether you need to read more or find some kind of way to make sure that you're paying attention. Porque a mí me pasa, right? Estoy leyendo lo que tal vez no me interesa al 100% y me distraigo. Entonces, durante eso les digo, traten de enfocarse lo más que se pueda. I know that it's a little bit difficult, but you're going to have to. Okay? Another vocab question, which you have a minute on this one. The word secular in paragraph 4 is the closest meaning to what?
Gospel.
Non-religion.
Non-religious.
Okay, so tenemos dos respuestas. Gospel and non-religious. Who can give me a reason to why they chose their answer?
Because
So Armando, why did you choose gospel? And then
because I think that it's joined to the secular basis. So maybe non-religious. It's the opposite of secular. So
okay. Y alguien que dijo non-religious, ¿por qué?
Secular is the opposite of religion. Must be secular.
Okay, so you've known this word that it just means the opposite.
Yes.
Ah, okay, there you go. That's a fine answer too. And yeah, the correct answer is C. But right here, she was talking about how she was very big into religion. And then she started getting into the nightlife scene, which usually somebody who's religious does not believe that going out at night is the best thing to do.
Yes.
Okay?
okay.
Good. Awesome. Vamos bien. In paragraph 7, what was the high point of Tharpe's career? Abigail, Natalia.
I think that it's the fourth option.
Okay, she's saying a series of concerts in Europe. Okay. ¿Alguien más?
I think that it could be letter B.
Okay, so she influenced U.S. culture.
Yes, because the last part of the paragraph of the passage.
Okay. So let's look at one little detail that isn't one of our answers. Europe. Okay. So yes, they do give us some influence about how she had influence in the US culture from the 1950s to the 1960s. Right? But her high
Yes.
was that she was actually able to travel and have a televised tour through Europe. So correct answer is D. Okay. Let me actually go back because no veo todas caras confundidas. Do we understand why this one is?
Yes.
Porque esa es una de las preguntas que casi las respuestas se ven igual, pero en este es donde tenemos que buscar el concepto principal, right? Que están hablando de Europe. Yes, no específicamente nos dicen US culture, pero si conoces Washington, D.C., te da a entender eso. However, we're looking for the high point. A high point is a peak. All right. So don't get lost too much in the minor details. She was talking about how, yeah, it was great that she was, doing great in the US. However, through her growth and everything, she was actually able to go through Europe, which was one of the like, not a lot of people make it there. So she was like, that was my high point. All right. Cool. Yes, más o menos, so, ¿cómo van?
Good.
Okay. Natalia, Alan, Carla, Abigail.
Yes.
Yes, I'm getting it, or yes, it's
Yes.
confusing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said,
So-
I know that we're going through these kind of fast, but I mostly just wanted you guys to kind of work on how fast you're reading and un poquito más de retention de qué es de cuánto se acordaron cuando estaban leyendo. Okay. All right. This is one of those long ones. Okay. We're going here. Remember, no gasten tiempo leyendo esta parte. Ustedes ya saben las instrucciones de esta. ¿En dónde mejor va esta frase? The songs were often a way for them to express the hardship of their lives. So where would this sentence here best fit here? And remember, we're looking for two things, right? Context and connectors.
Maybe C. It could be C.
Okay. Muy bien. I'll give you guys a hint.
I think A.
Okay. A.
I
Vale.
think C too.
C. Well, we still have time. Ustedes solamente llevan un minuto. Hypothetically speaking, ahorramos tanto tiempo de las otras preguntas that we can spend up to 3.5 minutes on this question and still be okay. So take your time, read it through, and I'm going to give you a hint. La frase en como está escrita da a entender que es algo que ya pasó.
I think that it's B.
Okay? Alan, Carla?
I think letter A.
A? A?
Ah,
Okay. And then Alan.
I think letter A.
A, okay. So todos están, we have 2 with A, 1 with B, 1 with C, and I'll go with D. The correct answer on this one, though, is B. Okay. like I said, on this one, the way the sentence is structured, estuvo que haber sido algo que ya pasó. So entraría aquí, right? Because they're talking about how she used to sing and blah, 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 was an old spirit. And then it talks about how these songs express the hardship in her life, and which also influenced her to, push herself into what career and what genre she started singing. So you were looking for something related to the past. Okay?
Yeah.
It's sometimes good to look at that structure. All right, cool. And then we have the hard one. Do not waste time reading this. You know that you're looking for 3 sentences that help summarize what you just read. Okay? Sister Rosetta Therapy helped to develop a style of music that later became rock and roll. We're using summaries. Y digo, ya agarramos tiempo en esta porque no tuvimos problemas con las otras. So we have a little bit of extra time on this one. We have like 4 minutes. I'll make it easy. It's not A.
Yes. And letter, I think that the second one from the bottom to the top, it's incorrect too.
So A, B, C, D, E, E.
This one, yes.
Okay. What does everybody think? So this is what we're trying to summarize though.
Yes.
Okay, so Armando says E.
No, I think that it's wrong, this one too.
Oh, that it's wrong. Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right, vale. Yeah, that's fine. Take that one off. Boom. Okay, so Armando's making it easier for us. So this means now that we have a 75% chance of getting it right.
Letter C could be an option.
Letter C.
The music. Yes.
Right here. Okay. ¿Todos estamos de acuerdo?
Yes. And the D too.
And then here, A, B, C, D right here.
This one, yes.
Okay. So now we're here and here. What do you, Alan, Natalia, y Abigail, B or E? Or I'm sorry, B or F?
The last one.
Okay. Abigail? Natalia?
Last one. Last one
I-
too.
Last one?
Me too.
All right, so ahorita tenemos la ventaja que tenemos ayuda de todos, ¿verdad? Dicen, todos vamos con esa. Good, that's fine. For practicing purpose, it's okay. Now, Carla or Armando and Alan, what would your backup to make sure that you are a little bit more confident about the answer that you chose for B, for this one and this one, for C and B? ¿Qué es lo que te hizo inclinarte más para esa summary?
Because we have the last questions we talk about the influence of the music in their lives and how they were growing in that genre. So maybe this will help us to know more about the summary of this question.
Okay, good. Perfect. I could not have said it any better. Yeah, we're talking the main point, which was influence to help create her. Carla, what would you say to support D?
Because
E.
in the first passage, it was talking about the church and the influence that it had in her career, and for that reason, I suppose that it is the main point in all the text. something that talks about the church or this topic. And for that reason, I choose leather.
Okay, good. Yeah. So from the first sentence on the get-go, it talks about the importance of church and how it created her to be, make her unique style. Yeah, good. All right, Natalia, y Abigail, y Alan, why did you guys choose F? What made you guys incline for that? Nada más fue igual del gut, salió del corazón. ¿Es ese? ¿Es F? No, right. We got to make sure that we have a little bit of reasoning behind it, just to make sure that we're okay. So let's check our answers.
It could be an option that the other one is incorrect. For example, I could choose leather, the last one, because the first one is never talking, or never, the passage never talks about she took the last name of her husband. It could be an option.
Yeah, good.
To eliminate that.
Yeah, perfect, Carla. Yeah, if it's not something that's mentioned, then most likely it's not going to be a summary, right? It's not a main idea. It's not a main point. Okay. So be careful with those little hints dentro de la pregunta. Y les digo, es complicado en el aspecto de que algunas de las preguntas se ven igual y traen información que viene aquí, pero no te puedes perder en nada más porque viste esa palabra significa que está aquí. Confírmalo. Tienes un poquito de tiempo. Por eso también importa mejorar qué tan rápido lees. ¿Vale? Entonces, si puedes incrementar un poquito de qué tan rápido pudiste leer esto, vamos a decir que tuvimos 10 minutos. And I didn't time you guys. See if you can get that time down to 8. Read a little faster. Try not to get distracted so that you can actually go back and, like Carla did, remember that they never actually talked about her picking up a last name. Okay? Good. So ustedes went through this one a little bit faster. That you guys are a good group. Awesome. So, no nos da tiempo de leer otro párrafo y entrar a las preguntas. So what I want to do now is I want to go through this and find words that you guys can add to your vocabulary. Like, la vi, no la entendí, pero más o menos. What were some of the words that you saw here? Like we went for Kajik, that you saw through here and you're like, no sé ni qué significa eso.
Subtly.
In here.
I don't remember. So no, it's like SUV.
Softly.
It's SU. No, it's
like this.
No, it's SUB. B.
Oh, subtly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So subtly. What do you think it is before I tell you what it is? Well, before they tell us what it is. Because look at the context right here, right? So it says their management would give her a secular song to sing. And when she sang Christian song, she subtly changed the lyrics to cut spiritual references. So ¿qué te entender? What can we kind of get from that?
Teacher, in Spanish is sutilmente.
Good. Now, no siempre les recomiendo que traduzcan las palabras del inglés al español porque no siempre que se conjugan de la misma manera. So that's why, let's say que yes, like in español, make sure to go back and check it and see like, okay, is it kind of the same or no? Because luego hay situaciones donde usamos esa palabra. En el español somos muy flojos. Conjugamos todo y en el inglés no siempre lo que pasa. Okay, so just make sure to go back and check it. Okay, so if we hear it, it's an adjective. Subtly, right? Y por eso es una de las razones que les digo, no siempre se enfoquen en pronunciación. Cuando lleguemos al speaking section, yo no estoy checando pronunciación, porque no siempre las cosas se dicen como se leen. So be careful with that. But subtly, in a way or small, difficult to notice, or describe, but important, right? So it would just kind of mean that she would change them very, very lightly to not sound like a Christian song. Okay.
I have a question,
Please.
Giovanni. For example, you're using Magoosh for doing the practice today. So do you recommend to us to practice with this one during the weekend or something like that?
So Magoosh, it's a little bit expensive. This is a tool
Mhm.
given to us by our boss.
Okay.
If you want, Magoosh is a really good tool. There's a lot of things in there. Like for example, when it comes down to grammar, it's not a bad program. You can actually go through specific lectures and TOEFL skills that might help you. For example, how to scan and skim, right? Como es ese de like leer rápido. Cuando les digo, no lean todo el concepto, nada más busquen esa palabra y de allí vayan.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good idea, but it is a bit of an expensive program. But if you're
Okay.
into it and if you can buy it, then please, yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Where is the price?
Oof, I'm not actually sure. No lo pago yo.
Uh,
But I know it's a little bit expensive. I think it's somewhere like the $100 up dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
And
reading.
for example, or free material to work on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, of course. So there's this other one that I use. It's called Best My Test, and this is free for 7 days.
Okay.
And it pretty much looks something like this. This is una otra práctica que tengo for you guys, but it's free and it kind of
Okay.
asks the same style of questions. It doesn't ask you for any credit card. You can make an account for free. You just go here and start a 7-day free trial. You can make an email up and go from there. And that's a good little tool también que puedes usar. Pero solamente te dan ciertas lecciones gratis. Pero si quieren practicar más sobre esta sección, adelante.
And it's as expensive as Magoosh or a little bit.
I'm not actually sure. I don't know if I should be spending time on this, but let's see if I were to go here. I'll have to make an account. I think this was also like como unos $40. It's a little bit less expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can look into all of that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, anybody else have another vocab question?
I have one.
Okay.
The first paragraph, I think that is widely.
Widely.
That's
Nice.
Widely. Good. What do we think it means? If we were to go here. But the even less widely known godmother of rock and roll. So primero, let's cut down the word. Quitamos el ly, right? So no longer makes it an adverb, and we just have wide, which is an adjective. ¿Qué significa wide?
Wide.
is aperture, algo.
Empieza con una A en español. It's like ancho. Yeah, something's wide. Algo está ancho. Okay. Now, when we add the ly, we're generalizing it to make it bigger in context. So we'll put widely. Go here. Now it becomes an adverb.
Widely.
Widely. Ahí es donde escuchan. Yo digo widely. Is widely, right? But it's up to you. And includes, it's pretty much saying that it's a large group of people in whatever, or a group of people, or a group of something. Okay? There's a widely amount of people that want to take the TOEFL.
Okay.
Good. Yes. Anything else? Natalia, Carla, Abigail?
Teacher are arguably in the first paragraph.
Arguably?
Yes.
Good. So let's take down the adverb here. I would take this off actually. y aquí le pusiéramos una E.
Argue.
Y sería argue, right? ¿Y qué significa argue
In English or Spanish?
en español?
Argumentar.
Okay. So le agregamos ese ly, and it would mean
Arguably.
used when stating an opinion or belief that you think can be shown to be the truth. Okay. I can arguably say that I am the best instructor in the world. I'm trying to state a fact that I believe. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Abigail, Carla.
Well, I even or I don't know what is the meaning of gospel, but gospel.
Oh, gospel.
Gospel.
¿Esta?
Gospel. Yes, yeah. But I suppose that it's a genre, but I don't know what is the meaning.
Yeah. So a gospel is kind of like a church. But it's, I guess it's like any of the 4 books of the Bible that contain detailed life of Jesus. And here it is.
Gospel.
Gospel. Yeah. It's very big in the African American community. Mm-hmm. The teachings of Jesus Christ. That's a gospel. Good. Abigail?
Hardships.
Hardships. Hardships.
Hardship.
Something that causes difficult or unpleasant conditions of life. So an economical hardship, ahorita due to COVID, everybody's having an economical hardship. Or if you were to get divorced, like in her case, I'm going through a hardship with my marriage. It's a noun, something, es algo. Yes?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So make sure, like I said, keep trying to add words to your vocabulary. The more and more you know, the more and more it'll help you whenever you get to the TOEFL part. That way you can start putting words together si no las entiendes. So if nobody has any more questions, that'll be it for today. If you guys could podían llenar el poll, por favor. Other than that, you guys have a good weekend. Wash your hands, coman algo. I will see you guys again next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
No worries. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.